Hello, my name is Oksana, and my 10-year-old son took his own life. A week before the tragedy, I was admitted to the hospital. Since I was in the hospital, my friend would pick him up and take him to hockey and to his practices. Since Vlad lost his phone, I couldn't reach him. At the same time, they changed our landline numbers to new ones, so I didn't know the new landline number either. I called my mom on her cell phone and asked her to go pick up Vlad since her work is nearby. My mom called the neighbor. The neighbor went up to our place. The door was open. The neighbor went in. She saw Vlad sitting there. She said, "Vlad, why are you sitting? Get up." She didn't realize right away when she saw him, well, at that moment. She called her mom. Her mom came home. Sasha, I'm going to go have a smoke. The first time my mom called, all I heard was screaming. And my mom hung up the phone. I started calling her back. And she said, "Oksana, Vlad is gone." I said, "What do you mean gone? Vlad is no longer with us." "Oksana, get in the car and go home quickly." I immediately saw the ambulance. I understood that it was for us. I rushed into the apartment. There were 3 doctors, I still remember. They were over Vlad. They immediately took me, pushed me into the kitchen and told me not to come in. They fought for his life for about an hour and tried everything, but it was in vain. Forensic experts arrived, along with many unfamiliar people. According to the investigators, that's their guess. Most likely he just wanted to attract attention to himself. Maybe it was because he lost that phone. I don't remember what happened. I think it was an argument about school because it was just impossible to get him to sit down and do his homework. Yeah, we argued, and he was like, what if I die? What will you do then? At first I tried to talk to him. He calmed down. But in the end, his words turned into action. He wanted to play in the National Hockey League. He used to say, "Mom, I'm going to play in the National Hockey League." I even remember we were filling out some questionnaire, and there was a question, "When you get your first paycheck, what will you spend it on?" Vlad said, "On my beloved mom." I remember he was planning to buy me a car. He wanted a red Ferrari. Yes, for mom. He said mom would look good in it. This is his first t-shirt, which we just made for him, so he would have something distinctive, as they say. Vlad had number 68. Jaromir Jagr was his idol. Everyone was close by. Absolutely. I had a friend from Italy who always stayed by my side. They all took turns so that someone would be with me at night and someone during the day. That kind of total control over me probably lasted for about 2 months. Then things more or less settled down. They kind of gave me some freedom. I mean, I could be alone somewhere. Because before that, well, no one allowed it. Me personally, after the tragedy, yes, I went to a psychologist. I talked about a week. I made it a week. She explained everything and told me not to take sedatives, saying they'd make it worse. Yes, I was just going crazy. I already realized that physically, without some kind of help, but still they pulled me through. The church pulled me through. That's true, it really is. The main thing, somehow, probably it was the psychological influence, and the church did that.
And did you go to church before the tragedy?
Rarely. Only when Mum would say, "It's a big holiday, kids. Maybe we should get together and go, at least light a candle, pray for an extra 5 minutes or so." No, but after all of this happened, yeah, she started going to church. 6 months ago, that very strong pain went away. Somehow you get a little used to living with this pain, you adapt to it. Work played the main role. The fact that I started a new business. Right now I'm completely immersed in it, work, work, work. There are no weekends or breaks, and somehow there's just no time for anything. You leave in the morning and come back late at night.
And where are his personal belongings now?
Some are here, some are at his parents' place. We gave some of the other things away since his belongings were expensive, and he had friends, other hockey players whose parents couldn't afford it, so we just gave it away. This puck, his coach gave it to him as a gift. I don't remember which world championship it was from. His dagger. Here's the medal we had for the best player of the match. And here is this unfortunate phone, the one we argued about. They found it. They found it in the snow. I got a call while I was at the temple at church. When a man called and asked about the phone, he was able to unlock it and found the contact Mom. He dialed, and then they returned it. There he is standing, there he is standing, there he appeared in the middle of the crowd. There. Look, do you see? A fight. Look at how they are. Here's Kostya, the coach. Now Vlada will bother him. There she is. Look, he's sitting. Oops, by the scruff of the neck. I dream about Vlad almost every day. I've never been able to say Vlad hasn't shown up in my dreams for a week. He's always there. There was a time, probably for a whole week, when I kept dreaming about him being in the hospital and that I urgently needed to get him out of the hospital. In the morning I would wake up, I would put on my shoes, get dressed. Only then, maybe 10 minutes later, I would realize, wait, what are you doing? It was just a dream. Seeing Vlad in my dreams usually brings positive feelings. It's nice to touch, see, and feel him. Often, I think it's all the time. Well, actually, we recently put up a monument because I just couldn't figure out what kind of monument it should be. And in the end, I decided, since he loved hockey so much, it would be a puck. And the headstone is carved to look like a hockey rink. I remember when I went to pick him up from the morgue. And even that I remember very, 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 very vaguely. The rest of the day is a blur, like a fog. The only thing I remember is that there were a lot of people who, what everyone feels familiar, but you simply pass by, drifting past.
Do you blame yourself for what happened?
Yes, somewhere I misunderstood, somewhere I didn't listen. Inside, that argument about the phone still remains. When I say, Vlad, well, how could you? Inside, something still gnaws at me, something still scratches inside. Maybe if I had reacted a little differently, maybe none of this would have happened. He was a very emotional boy. He was emotional. Yeah, maybe he was just caught up in his own emotions and moods. That's what he decided. But again, what influenced this? I don't think it was the phone. Vlad had 2 phones by that time, and even more. Well,
did you ever think about having children?
no, as for children, no, I haven't had those thoughts. Right now, I'm completely focused on work. Sometime before his death, we talked about starting a small business packaging greens. Just a little family business. Well, I made it happen. We're planning to help the church now. We want to renovate it here nearby. At the same time, we visit the nursing home and help out. It's just a way to give at least a small part of ourselves. There, Vlad was also a very kind child. I remember he also went to the nursing home. I remember when Vlad came back, he was so impressed. He said, "Mama, I'm so happy. I have parents, arms, legs, I'm whole. Everything's good." Well, I probably wouldn't wish this on anyone. To bury your own children. That shouldn't happen. He's still my son. He'll always be my little good hockey player to me, whose life was just cut short.
Why did you choose to share this?
I decided to share this so that parents would be more attentive to their little children, especially those who are impulsive and emotional. You really have to keep a close eye on them. Listen to children. Pay attention to everything they say and every outburst. Try to understand. You need to listen to children again. They are little beings, but they have their own selves, their own worldview. To some extent, they are still responsible for their actions. Just see, hear, and understand your little ones. No matter how much we love them, sometimes, even if it's right, we don't hear each other. We're busy with our own little hustle, our work, with everything. And when something happens to your child, you either just don't see it or you don't want to see it. I really hope that parents will listen and will be more attentive. Being a mother who has buried her own child is indescribable in words. It's a pain that tears you apart inside. It's a nightmare that you live through every day, day after day. You realize that he's gone. Snap and everything changes. Vlad returns, he'll come and we'll train together. Sash, I'm honestly speechless.